There were some really big games this weekend. Tyler is going to tell you all about them on today's episode. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And today is a fun episode as we have Tyler in an Ohio State jersey. We'll get into that as the man is paying up his bets today. He's got a national championship Troy Smith jersey on for those that are not watching. Unfortunately, Lou's Astros were defeated last night. We'll get an update from Lou on what happened there. We've got a new segment we're going to drop this week, just chatting about the NFL card market. I'm going to call that Stock Watch. We'll get into that here before too long. Connor Bedard, physical tickets at a Blackhawks game. We'll get more into that. We got some big polls. We've got an NBA preview. We've got a lot of stuff happening this week. But first, the usual, what's on your mind? And I know the last couple weeks have been Lou, so we'll give Lou a week off here to rest. And we'll let Ty start. Ty, what is on your mind on this fine Tuesday morning?
We'll be back. Lou and I in person is becoming a little bit of a thing.
Yeah.
Bobby in the mix in the rooms, giving us a little bit of extra pizzazz. We tried to do a little something here with the TV and the Card Talk thing. We're getting a lot of glare because we did the lights and this little speaker thing on the bottom's throwing off the vibe. So it might be a one-time thing. Definitely could have been run through in advance. We've only been talking about it for the last 7 days, but we will get there. Obviously, I'm wearing this jersey that is making me incredibly uncomfortable. And it's just red everywhere. And even I've hated the color red for a very long time. What were you saying? Table. Don't hit the table. Yeah. My high school was blue. My town's colors were blue always. Red's the rivalry of blue. Penn State. I just hate red. I don't wear red clothes at all. I just don't wear red. And now I'm wearing this. It'd be nice to have a national championship patch on your jersey. I don't think I'll ever know how that feels outside of today. Who was in this game, Ryan? Who'd they play against?
That one could have been LSU or Florida. They lost them both, so I don't know if it matters. But
which was the game you were talking about? Miami. What year was Miami?
Ohio State?
98? 90,
no, 2001 season, January of 2002. Ohio State beat one of the best college football teams ever.
And what was the pass interference thing that happened at the end?
The Chris Gamble, that was clearly blatantly pass interference in the end zone.
But it wasn't called and Ohio State won.
No, it was called. It was kind of a late flag.
Got it.
Ended up throwing
Gamble's on offense?
Gamble played both offense and defense. Played corner and wide receiver.
A young Travis.
Two-way.
All right. Well, clearly my heart was ripped out. My hopes were dashed, and my life was ruined Saturday. I was at a bar in Lenox, Massachusetts with about 40 people getting ready for my good homie's wedding. And everyone was there and everyone was focused and everyone was having a good time until we were all devastated. Then we carried on the wedding. It was great. We were 0-15 on third down. I don't think that's ever happened to a football team ever in the history of football. I don't really have much to say other than we'll probably get smoked by Michigan, finish the year 10-2, go to a New Year's Six Bowl, and do it all over again for the foreseeable future. That's neither here nor there. A lot of people have been hitting me up about Golden has the first edition Harry Potter book that's going up. I'm excited. I know everyone that's sending it to me, no, I won't be buying it. No, I don't have that type of cash. So if you're interested, go for it. But it's going to be cash. I imagine it's going to be six figures. Really? 6 figures that I don't have.
Wow. 6 figures? Wow.
If it's good condition, maybe it'll be 80, maybe something like that.
Ty, real quick question for you. When did you lose all hope? Like, when did hope on Saturday just diminish from your body? Was there like a moment you're like, yeah, it's over?
It was the second it was a 2-possession game. So it was late. I mean, like, Lou was pushing the, hey, everybody calm down. I was like, there's no faith. But when it's a one-score game, anything can happen. I mean, I was fairly certain that even if the good thing did happen, a flag would come out, something would change, so it wouldn't matter anyway. But while it was one possession, I held faith. I was still like, something might occur. But I was also getting ready for a wedding in the fourth quarter, putting a tuxedo on, and changing my focus from thinking we had any prayer to do anything to getting ready for a wedding. So that was that. I know I'm now talking a lot. The Knicks kick off tomorrow night. The NBA kicks off tonight. I'm excited about the Knicks. I'm excited about the NBA. Garden's back. Rangers, Knicks, a couple nights a week. Fantasy play of the week, big win last night. Lou and I play each other upcoming. Big GM blunder, as I hated sports all weekend. DK Metcalf stayed in my starting lineup, even though he was injured. And I kept Christian Watson on the bench. Almost cost
Christian
me.
Watson's the worst fantasy player I've ever seen. So you almost didn't miss out on anything.
Our scoring is weird. Like someone does nothing and they get 12 points, but that's neither here nor there.
Say more.
But I won anyway because
Okay.
Kirk Cousins was a dog last night.
Yeah.
I did play Bethpage Black yesterday, one of the top courses in the country.
Wow.
You played that yesterday? Wow.
Yeah, golf outing. Shot a 91.
Must be nice to play golf on a Monday morning.
Yeah, no kidding. Golly.
I was doing
Oh,
some
you were
work. Right?
working. Okay, good.
Holy
I
cow.
was developing relationships.
No, that's good.
Champions League is today. Manchester United, my lowly footy team, is playing Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark. If you don't know, I have ties to Denmark. Love that place. Love that country. Yeah,
Yeah, the greatest story of the last few decades.
That's exactly right. Greatest sporting story of all time. Manchester United plays Copenhagen today. Manchester United signed a big striker from Copenhagen, Danish kid Rasmus Højlund. His younger brothers that are twins are on Copenhagen. So there's like a little brotherly Manchester United Copenhagen fun sporting thing. And then last but not least, I'm excited because I made a purchase recently.
Okay.
I picked up a card. And I'm
excited.
excited. What it was. And Lou did guess what it was late night, last night, every night. But the NBA season starts today. And in honor of the NBA season starting with a big-time matchup tonight at 10 o'clock, I have acquired a card. Something that I've been looking for
finally did it. Golf clap for Ty.
Long time.
That card. So for those that are not watching, it is a Devin Booker 15-16 Prism Purple rookie. If you've listened to Card Talk for a few episodes now, you will know this has been very high on Tyler's gotta have it list. I think it's numbered to what, Ty? 65? 99?
99. Yep.
Yeah, big card. So purple D book.
They brought it to me. This is 73 of 99. A gentleman who I'll name later, I got to look it up, hit me up on IG. His buddy had it. I helped broker a little deal, a little back and forth while I was on the move over the weekend, and got it to me quick so I could reveal it on the show. And I'm pretty damn excited. I'm actually happier that I bought it raw in a weird way, because now I'm going to send it in for grading. Kind of adds a little bit to the story. This is one purely for the collection. This is not something I'm looking to flip, what have you. Should have a big year. They're up there. I think they're the fourth highest team in terms of championship odds. And that's what I got. Pretty excited. Big pickup. Wearing this jersey makes me feel weird. But at least we're not stealing signs from the entire Big Ten.
Facts. Lou, what's on your mind?
I would like to get into that story a little bit. I really just don't see the issue. I know you guys are going to say shocker, but I would love to talk about that a little bit more.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me clearly? Because I think last week my sound was not great because I was a little bit further away. That's on me. I was being lazy.
Thank you. You're a little further away, but it's not it's not bad.
What's on my mind? Obviously, I got eliminated Game 7 last night. That was pretty tough.
I was pulling for you.
It was about 200-2. Adolis Garcia is my dad. The Astros had no bullpen, had no pitching. I believe there was someone on this show who's been talking about that since June. I don't know. It's been the same issues the entire time. We have a manager who is actually, we should beep that. That wasn't nice. We have a manager who is a little bit older and probably shouldn't be a coach anymore. At this juncture, he made the same mistakes for 6 months that he made in Game 7 of the ALCS, and that's how you lose a series. You also can't have home field advantage and lose all 4 games at home in a 7-game series. That's how you lose a series. So it's time to readjust. It's time to make some changes. And if you want to continue a 7-year run into a 10-year run, you need to make the right changes and you need to take ego out of the decisions. And the Astros have a lot of ego in the organization. So it's time to make some changes. I'm looking forward to those. And it's football season. So that's what I have. I have the Jets and I have college football. This morning I was driving to work and I was thinking to myself, I can't believe that I allow myself to be so upset about these things. I'm almost 30 years old. Like, it's time to grow up. We're 12 hours removed from elimination and I'm just dead. I want nothing to do with anything. And it's stupid. It's a dumb thing to do. So, yeah, that's what I got.
Why do we think it is? Because we really look forward to watching the games?
I don't know what it is. If you ask me to explain why I care so much, I can't tell you why. I don't know the answer.
But I think it's a part of who you are.
But why?
When I tell you,
I
was the most uncomfortable, nervous wreck from 10:30 to noon on Saturday. The people that I were with were like I could have legitimately thrown up.
Yeah, we saw it for 2 weeks.
Last night I was like sick. I couldn't like eat dinner. I was just like so stupid. Anyway, I don't know. Let's talk about Michigan. I want to talk about Michigan.
Whoa, wait. Let's not get ahead of that. That's gonna be. I don't know if we have time for that, but first and foremost, yeah. I mean, I was real quiet on this show. I didn't say a whole lot. I kept to myself. Said there's going to be a big game. This is going to be a lot of fun. And if we can roll the tape back, there was a lot of chatter from my man Ty Schmidt. A lot of chatter, right?
So wait, real quick. Just want to put it on the record. I had a 3-unit winner on Ohio State this weekend. Credit to me.
Credit to Lou. Let me just read you guys, for those that are, since there's only 5 or 6 people in this group chat. Again, I kept quiet all week. Just understood there's a big game. Don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Yeah, and real act like you've been there before mentality. But I wanted to read some texts that I had received or were put in the group chat prior to this game. I just want to read those for the listeners who were there, especially the fakest half Ohio State fan on earth, Jay, who will do anything for screen time and wanted to come on here and tell us he's been an Ohio State fan because he knows somebody from Ohio. And this dude is the fakest Ohio State fan of all time. And let me tell you what he said. Penn State is going to get that dub. I've watched and bet on every Ohio State and Penn State game this year. Penn State's the better team, better D, better QB. My money's on, this is a separate text. My money's on Penn State. They're going to win. I've never been more sure of anything on my life. Another text, 24-21 Penn State. Tyler, on another day, everyone deep down knows what's coming.
Yo, that was legitimately about what exactly happened. You're misconstruing those words. That was literally what was going to occur.
No, that is not what it is. You can change it now. We can pull up all of the text messages. I just saved a couple good ones. We didn't talk, didn't run our mouth. Y'all thought this was the year. Y'all thought Drew Aller was the savior. It's not. We'll see you in Happy Valley next year, and we're going to smack you once again. James Franklin's not good. I even pulled it up. I said under 20 yards, 50% of the passes. James Franklin doesn't win big games. I kept quiet, just asked a couple questions, and it got out of control. That's neither here nor there. I just wanted to say my piece. Go Bucks, and shout out to Tyler for wearing that nice red Troy Smith jersey with the BCS logo on it. You love to see it on a Tuesday morning.
The tough schedule Penn State's got next year. Wouldn't want any cupcakes on the schedule, right?
I thought we might not be playing next year.
No, I think we play next year.
Bowling Green, tough game. Ooh, UCLA.
Listen, if we stink, y'all stink. That's all I got to say. If we stink, y'all stink. The only reason we were in that game was because your quarterback missed a ton of throws when they mattered. And if we stink, y'all stink.
We'll
what
see.
What do we do about the nickname Maserati Marv?
Thank the world there was no sound on in the bar.
But you heard about it.
I've heard all
It was
about
so
it.
annoying.
And it's Gus Johnson, right? It's the Gus Johnson special.
You guys just
Like,
kept-
I can't with this guy.
You kept texting me Maserati Marvin. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? I'm
Bro.
like, I'm watching the game and all I keep hearing is Maserati. Luke puts it in.
It was every time he touched the ball, Maserati. It was insane.
Every time, like, I'm watching the game and I'm getting chats from Lou. Maserati, all caps.
I can't with this guy.
He just kept saying it, dude. Did you hear about it or no? You couldn't hear anything.
And I gotta say, I took a shot at Brady Quinn because the whole Fox thing, but he was the only one that picked us before the game.
Yeah, I mean,
crime that game was at noon, and it really was at like 12:14 because it's 10 now. It's starting game now.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a good game. It was a lot of fun. I talked to you guys after, but it was the number one Ohio State game I've ever seen. It was the most fun I've ever had. That place was rocking. I told you guys early, like, I've never seen it so busy. I've been to Michigan games, went to Notre Dame last year, been to most Penn State games before, except the best one, the Barkley one. It was awesome. I've not had that much fun. Like, and again, I was so nervous in it. Like, those defenses are good. Offenses, Kyle's got some things to work on for sure. Like, that definitely concerns me going down the stretch, playing, team up north. I'm trying to be nice and not call them cheaters yet. I think there's a lot to dissect there and we'll get to that in a second. But, yeah, obviously worried about that. But again, like, we're not rivals. Like, I'm not trying to play it as that. We have a rival and we have to go to Ann Arbor to beat them. And if, we can't figure out the offense as much, it's going to be a long, cold Saturday and, November. So, yeah, it was fun. Again, it's fun because of like the banner on Card Talk. Like, obviously I want to see Ty have success. Like, I was rooting for the Astros. I don't like the Astros, but I would root for the Astros for Lou to win. So, as much as we hate it, like, I would like to see you guys have enjoyment in that. So, sucks that it had to be like that, but hey,
we'll beat one of the Pac-12 teams in some bowl. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, Ty, like, but in all seriousness, like, if you beat Michigan, you have a real shot.
For sure.
You lost on the road by 7 or 8 points. Like, against a top 3 team in the country.
I just can't get excited. I just can't have hope.
All I know is in 2 weeks, I'll be screaming, "We are" from the top of my lungs. That's for.
I might drive up that day.
That's when they play Michigan.
Yeah, the 11th.
Whiteout?
Well, they already used the whiteout earlier in the year. I imagine they'll go back to it, but
I would assume
now they package. The thing is, because now they package the whiteout with ABC, I think. And
I think it's going to be a big noon kickoff, just like it was for all. That's what Reg and I were saying. Is like, she's like, "Will that be a night game?" I said, "I think because they're all on Fox, they're all going to be Fox's best game of the week, so they'll all be big noon. So Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. They should all be big noon."
Whereas Iowa, I think, was a night ABC game for some reason, or might have been a night.
Oh yeah, that's when it was like 35-0, and you were saying we should let them score so they can keep parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, I come Michigan game, I'll be right back locked in causing pain for myself. And
what about Indiana this weekend?
We should. That's where it's like we should win. If we lose, I'm sad. If we win, the games don't matter to me as much, other than these 2 games which we lose every year, and it's the same old story.
Games, big game.
I get it. Didn't Rutgers just beat Indiana
by like a hundo?
And Rutgers,
Rutgers
sneaky, nice little squad.
Rutgers is nasty. They covered every spread this year, Jim.
I didn't.
A couple other things on my mind real quick. I did watch the David Beckham documentary, and as somebody that has rooted for Chelsea for a while, I watched the David Beckham documentary. It's 4 parts. It was A++. It was very, 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 very well done. I learned a lot in it, and I really, really enjoyed it. So if you, again, I posted on my IG story. I'm definitely looking to pick up a cool David Beckham card for the PC. He sells very well to begin with. He's a recent addition to Panini. He's got some older Man U stuff. I would love to be able to add a really cool card to the PC, maybe a signed jersey or something. But A+ documentary.
Totally agree. It's been on my mind immensely since I watched it about 10 days ago. I watched the first 3 episodes in one night till like midnight, and then I watched the 4th one the next day. It also like motivated the shit out of me.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. So if you haven't seen it, I would definitely watch that. F1 Austin was this weekend. Lewis Charles got DQ'd for something with a car post sprint. Like, again, I'm not going to pretend like I know all of the rules 100%, but saw that. Lewis had a really good race too and got really close to Max at the end. I watched Max and I watched the race with Reg, and Max is so good, but God, he's so annoying. If you watch the race, he just screams like, "Stop talking to me while I'm braking." He just screams the whole time. It's the most annoying thing in the world. Like, he's the biggest whiner I've ever seen in any sport ever. He just whines all the time. He's so good. He's so good. But God, he just whines all the time. Yeah. So, again, shout out to Ty for coming through with the Ohio State jersey. That was fun.
Man of my word, Rye. A man of my word.
Added another element to it. So, but Lou, real quick, we're gonna get into NBA. We've got Stock Watch. We've got a lot of stuff to get into, but I think we should have a 5-minute discussion on it just for the sake. 3-minute discussion. What are your thoughts initially on the Michigan thing? You said you wanted to bring it up, so I figure we'll give you that before we move on.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I get it. It's like you're not supposed to record signs or whatever. You guys just aren't going to convince me that like a lot of people aren't doing that. So, and I also feel like they're trying to pile on Harbaugh. This is the second one this year. Then he's trying to I can't tell if he's trying to get out of there, if he wants an extension. It just all seems very suspect to me. The one thing that I will say is bad is Buddy is on the sideline, like next to the defensive coordinator while Ohio State's on the line. And then there's that picture of their like little sheet that has like
hand signs.
That's tough. But like,
Hey, we're Michigan men. That's what they always say. We're Michigan men. We're above that. This is this is a kid-friendly show, so I will keep my mouth closed. Vacate all of the wins. All of the wins. Fraud university. Fraud. This dude goes to 30-plus games, has somebody sitting them. Did you see the Venmo transactions?
Look at his record. Look at his record before it started, and look at his record since.
Give me 3 minutes on my soapbox. This dude, Colin, whatever his name, I don't even know his name. Don't care. Stallions. This dude. Did you see the Venmo transactions where he Venmos other staffers in the text? It says GA the day before the Peach Bowl when Ohio State plays Georgia. This dude's buying tickets in his name. First of all, dope. Absolute dope. Anybody that does that,
big time dope.
Moron. You can't do that. And then you tell me a $55,000 a year staffer is next to the second most important person in the entire football program, the highest paid university employee. This dude's sitting right next to him during a game with a sign of hand signals from another team. 30 games? This is cheating. You're not allowed to do this. This is well above that. Vacate all of the wins. There's a reason Jim Harbaugh doesn't win bowl games. There's a reason, because he doesn't know who he's going to play and doesn't have anybody to go cheat for him. There's a reason you beat this. This is why they backed out the COVID year, where I cannot wait to punch them in the mouth. Vacate all of the wins. All of them. Cheaters.
Okay, so
I love we're Michigan men. We're above all that. Like it's horse.
His boy Bo Schembechler looking down.
I think
fraud.
Let's have a conversation as a team here. So if anything similar comes to light for any other teams, we also want to vacate their wins.
Yeah, if Penn State was to
I didn't say Penn State. I said any team that
any team was to have clear-cut records of a on-staff person buying tickets to games of teams that they were set to play in coming weeks, transferred said tickets to people. There was then video evidence of said people going into said seat, pulling out an iPhone and recording the other team for the entire time.
Yeah.
Then when those games come to be, if you look at the data of all the big moments that they came out on top in every play.
So it's only if you come out on top. What if you suck?
What if you suck?
What if you know the signs and you still lose?
Well,
still
has that happened? Has that happened?
I feel pretty confident that's happened, yeah.
You feel confident that people have bought the tickets, sent them people, recorded it, come into the moment,
stole signs.
No, but that's the difference. Stealing signs and then the way it was done is different. It is not illegal to
recording
attempt
signs
during
on the
a
phone
game.
and then
During
At another game, you're not involved
During
in.
a game, you are allowed to try and decipher the other team's signs.
Penn State, Iowa. There shouldn't be a Michigan staffer at Penn State, Iowa, with this giving another staffer tickets to use his phone on the 45-yard line to record Penn State signals ahead of the Penn State game. That's wild. He had tickets to Ohio State, Penn State.
He was supposed to go to the Penn State Ohio State game,
fraud.
And then it came out on Friday. He had the tickets and the seats were empty.
This is. I want the death penalty for this university. We got in trouble for selling memorabilia for tattoos. Please. Like, we got bowl banned for this. Bowl banned.
I'm not in a position. I'm not going to make claims. Nothing. I want to beat them. I'm not going to. We are the third player in this game right now. You guys have beef. Y'all can handle that. All I'm saying is Harbaugh has been smelly, stinky for a while. He's a mediocre coach. They were a mediocre. We were number 2. And then he launched this thing, and that's now where we're at. And unless we beat them, I'm not going to rely on that to be the case. But they never beat Ohio State, ever, until 3 years ago when they started this whole situation. That is fishy. That's fried fish to me right there. And now let's move on and talk about some cards.
Great. Thank you, Tyler. I'm glad. I was very glad you were so into it and as excited about it as I was. So I appreciated that in the group chat last night. It was
okay, but what if Michigan
they
beats
got
again?
Great out of nowhere? They got out of nowhere.
Yeah, it is definitely. What?
Oh, they had all the same.
Yeah, it won't be good. Like, listen, I'm very much aware, like, of what the implications are. Like, trust me, like, everybody listening knows. There's Michigan fans knowing, like, I love getting them fired up about it because it fires me up about it. Like, I'm very passionate about it. There's no doubt if you've lost in a Card Talk. Like, we're 20 minutes in. Like, I get it. Yeah, you can't lose. Like, it's somebody asked me this weekend, and I tell you guys all the time, I would beat Michigan over winning a national title, and my answer will never change ever. Right. It won't ever change. It's always beating Michigan. That's what I want. So, yeah, you have to beat Michigan.
That's the one that changed it for me. Yeah, I went deep on that last night.
This is some real data right here that I wasn't aware of until right in this moment. Jim Harbaugh went 2-4 in 2020, capping a 47-22 run, 681 winning percentage over 6 years. Whoever this guy is reported the Michigan allegations began in 2021. Michigan's gone 33-3, and their conference record improved from 34-16 to 22-1. Listen,
and the 2 of those 3 losses are bowl games. One to TCU,
after who they didn't have time to scout because they didn't know who they were playing. They didn't know who they were playing,
and then they lost to Michigan. They lost to what's it called, like the next year, right on the game. Yeah, I mean, this is tough.
It's tough. That's all. Let's talk some cards.
That Ohio State team would have. Oh God.
Keep it moving, Ryan.
You would think they should
keep it moving, Ryan.
They should get banned from the playoff this year, right? That would be fair.
Like 2 years. The amount of years they cheated.
I don't know. I want to beat them. Keep it moving, Ryan.
All right, let's before we do the NBA picks, I want to get into some card talk. So this will be actual card. We'll come back to the NBA picks because that will be maybe a little less card chatter, but I thought this would be a fun little thing. So I threw this together. Jay probably has it. Jay, if you want to pull this up, I threw this together in like 20 minutes before we started. So I thought this would be kind of fun. Well, Jay started on side 3. That's not where we wanted to start, but hey, 0 days since last air. So can't beat Jay up.
Coming up.
Yeah. Jay's got a wedding coming. A lot of other stuff on his mind. Listen, we'll let it go. We've already thrown Jay I have thrown Jay under the bus enough today. All right. So did a little, that's why I said, sorry, my bad. I did a little, digging on some cards here of a couple guys that have been selling. There's really 5 guys that kind of like I put as like the guys that have been selling either in demand, really, really hot, bigger names with autos that like Anthony Richardson, Bijan. We'll get into them, but I wanted to kind of show you guys some stuff and just, have a discussion and see what you thought. So a little stock watch here. Jay, can we go to the first slide? First one is Mr. Puka Nacua. So a couple things and the 33. So I put on here 3,300 sales on eBay. So this is when you just type in Puka Nacua and hit search, right? So what I wanted to point out here is 3,300 sales. I'll get into that in a second and why it's important when we show another guy. So I'll talk about it with CJ Stroud. So 3,300 might seem like a lot. That seems like a lot of sales for Puka Nacua. But when you compare it to other guys, it is definitely not as crazy. But Puka Nacua. So a couple sales here. You've got an elite auto at a 25 at $340. That is certainly one of the stronger sales in the entire class. But then you've got a card just like a Chronicles red canvas auto out of $199 selling for $85. And then again, just to try to show that it's not all autographs, you've got a Panini Black rookie card numbered to 75 that did on bids basically with shipping around $50. So certainly some demand for his stuff early, but it might actually be warranted so far. This is not necessarily a, hey, he's had one good game. He is currently the league leader in receptions and targets. He has 82 targets
and receiving yards. It's crazy.
Yeah, third in the league in receiving yards. He's got 752. He's got 58 receptions on 82 targets. Really, really playing well. They got Cup back, still scored in the first game with Cup back. But again, certainly some demand for Puka Nacua cards right out of the rip. I think the biggest question for me on this is, will he continue to be in more sets? Or is this going to be something where it will be a real supply and demand issue where he's just not going to be in everything? Obviously, we've got time for those products. You would assume Panini's going to put him in. But again, Puka Nacua is certainly one of the hottest rookies in the 2023 class.
Yeah. Shiny objects. People like shiny objects. I think people are probably, everyone wants to be smart. Everyone wants to be like, I thought about it. I figured it out. When I see this, I just think about AJ Brown. I'm like, why would you buy Puka if you could buy AJ Brown? Unless you're a Los Angeles Rams fan collector. My man's got 5 straight 125-yard receiving games. If you watch him play, big body, strong. And then Eagles, Philadelphia, massive fan base from a collecting side. Los Angeles Rams just settled down there about 2 years ago, won the Super Bowl. I don't see a world in the next 5 years where they're really competing for one, whereas Philadelphia Eagles are kind of in that window right now. And then you got Cooper Kupp. That's not to say I don't think Puka Nacua is a real receiver and will have a career in the NFL. If you watch him play, there's really no debating that. He's great at reading zone defenses, settles into these spots, and then is big and strong and makes the first man miss a lot of times. Just feels like it's like a 0 to hero time right now, which is why people are picking up and investing. And it makes me worry a little bit about like what the long-term demand is for someone like that. When I think about like a CeeDee Lamb of sorts, like I don't know what CeeDee Lamb's market's doing right now, but
a lot harder.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
All right, fair points. Jay, can we get to number 2? All right, so another guy, right? So Bijan Robinson, I put on here like slow start stat wise, just not kind of what you would hope for out of Bijan. He's got 81 attempts for 404 yards. But he has no rushing touchdowns on the ground. He does have some receiving numbers. I think this will add value to his game. He's got 189 receiving yards, 26 receptions, and 2 TDs on the ground. I put on here, I thought it was kind of weird. I haven't heard much about it. I saw some rumblings on Twitter that, the league was going to look into it. But he had this mysterious illness in week 7, no injury projection, but only had 1 rush for like 3 yards against Tampa. Makes you kind of wonder, like, what happened. I heard headache. I heard stomach ache.
It was similar to like Sauce. What happened when I read what Bijan said? He was like, my head was hurting. I felt a little sick.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened. And I felt like Sauce was saying the same thing, and they shut him down, but they didn't shut down Bijan, and they just didn't play him.
That's different. The difference is they put Sauce in the protocol.
Yeah, I don't know if they did with Bijan, and then they didn't play him. So the league's like, what was up with that?
Yeah, people were speculating that it might have been that he like broke a team rule or something.
Well, a couple sales here. Again, I probably expected some of these to be a little higher, just based on him being such a high projection going into the season. It was, I think, one of the top couple guys for Rookie of the Year favorites. We got a black RPA. It's $199, $76 plus shipping. A nice 3-color gold standard jumbo patch auto at a 10, only did 122. And then a mosaic rookie auto, just the silver one you'd pull, did 107. Again, seems a little bit low just for what I would have anticipated, just understanding box price. Like gold standard's a $400 box. You get 25% of your money back on a Bijan, top running back RPA at a 10. Black's a $300 box, I think. $76. Again, that's a fourth. That's 25% of ROI there. So again, I anticipated these being a little bit stronger, but again, just he's got some highlights so far. He's been on Twitter, like some of those cool cams with some of those runs on those receiving touchdowns he's had. But I think he'll need a couple big games here if we want to see really an uptick in these. I don't expect these to blow up much.
I think you got to be careful too. The Falcons are just not the kind of team that features one player. Mm-hmm. That's just not how they run their offense. Mm-hmm. So it's honestly like something you really got to be mindful of going forward with him for at least the rest of this year.
I think
they're running out here a lot. They have Cordell Patterson running routes again. Like it's very strange. They do it works for them. I think they're leading the division right now, so can't complain. But for cards and fantasy and all those things, it's not as easy.
Yeah, I think Bijan definitely has boom potential, right? Like he definitely has potential to go for 30 carries, 210 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and just have a
never will
game.
No,
yeah. So we'll see.
I've just been thinking, like, Rod, do you think there's any impact in the fact that he's in the huddle with Des Ridder, and Des Ridder is still kind of a young prospected quarterback, and like with the success of the Falcons, there's like, okay, well, you've got this quarterback that's young, not a rookie, but like in his kind of early discovery phase, people collect quarterbacks. Whereas, the adverse Puka Nacua, you got Stafford, like people aren't like speculating on where Stafford is going to end up as much as, say, a Des Ridder. Like, do you think there's any bit of that from just an overall collecting hobby market perspective, Bijan getting overshadowed by Ridder?
No, not really. Ridder stuff is
taking around.
Yeah, I think Ridder's taken a pretty hard beating on his cards over the last 90 days. I mean, certainly we're not going to sit here and argue.
He's not playing amazing, just the way it is.
What'd you say?
Like rightfully so. Like he's not lighting it up on the stats.
No, he's put up a lot of. He's throwing the ball a ton. I think I read something going into. I was doing some research on like Sunday morning, and I think he had like 185 attempts or 185 completions the last 5 weeks. Like he's throwing the ball a ton. So getting some like garbage time stats, but I think he had 3 interceptions against the Commanders, against Sam Howell. Had a bunch of yards, but turned the ball over. So, that team is young, but to me, like, it doesn't seem like this is a much different conversation, but it doesn't seem like the Falcons are interested in Ridder. They've come up in the Fields discussion. If the Bears should move on from Fields, they came up in the Trey Lance conversation over the summer. Like, they don't seem committed.
I can't believe they didn't trade for Lamar.
It doesn't seem like they're committed to Desmond Ridder. So I think that plays a factor in this. So I sit here and believe a year from now, the Falcons will look much different than they do right now. I think that leads to upside on Bijan stuff. If you believe in him and you think the Falcons will make the right changes over the next year. I mean, he's obviously a talented running back. He's the highest paid running back as a rookie. He's top 5, top 10, he's got to be in the conversation for top 10 running back in the league.
He's
I would say
top 7 running back.
I mean, look, I do got to say the Falcons are 4-3 atop their division right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
they also play they play the Niners, the Eagles. They play in like, you're just not anticipating that them having success immediately this year. I don't think so. I think the Bijan play is probably a little bit more of a longer play, but again, how much upside is there really in running backs, right? Like he's great. Barkley's great. Zeke's great, but those guys don't, Yeah. We'll see. It seems like there's a lot more buzz there rookie year. All right, Jay,
the Falcons' next 3 is at Titans, Vikings, Cardinals, bye week. Could be an interesting 3-week stretch for both Bijan and Ridder.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
Bijan's got one of the cooler highlights so far this year. Remember that slow-mo weird camera where he made the catch, like, and did the thing?
All right, so from a guy, I'm going to say Stroud is the hottest rookie on the market at the moment. That's excluding Puka Nacua and Tyson I don't know. Yeah, him. I'm going to say outside of those guys because those guys are like, hey, weren't expected to do anything, guys. I think if you take the pool of Bijan, Richardson, Stroud, Levis, Bryce Young, the guys that were anticipated to be really good, it's not a fair fight on who the hottest selling guy is right now. CJ Stroud stuff is hot. He's got 20,000 plus sales on eBay. I think eBay goes back, 90 days, I believe. Again, just to compare that to Puka Nacua has 3,300. There's plenty of Stroud stuff available, and there's some big sales. His cards are hot. He's 10th in the league in yards at 1,660. He's 13th in TDs at 9. He also has the lowest INT rate in the NFL at 0.5. He hasn't thrown the ball a million times. He's only got 127 completions, but only has 1 INT. Set the record for completions to start a career without an INT. I think this is 127 completion. I think this is more than this. I should double check my numbers, but again, this is a 25. This was about 25 minutes before we started. But either way, pink mosaic camo. Again, this is a retail parallel, $31 plus shipping, 10 bids. A dual patch card out of 5 with some sick logo patches did $450, and then a really big card, a debut pink 7 of 10 jersey number did 1117 at bids with 41 bids. So again,
that card is sweet.
Yeah, again, the thing with Stroud is going to be the lack of autos. He's got the Panini Instant Auto. He's got some college autos from Bowman Chrome, Bowman University, Bowman's Best University, a few other products, but he doesn't. Sorry, I meant Bowman Inception University. But he doesn't have a lot of he's not in any Panini pack pulled autographs that are in pro jersey. So a lot of the value in Stroud sales are going to be around inserts, parallels, rookies, case hits, stuff like this. But clearly there is a demand for CJ Stroud stuff. I haven't checked Rookie of the Year odds, but I would imagine he is number one at the moment. And season's long, but this guy is certainly playing lights out so far.
It's actually CJ, Puka, Bijan in that order.
Interesting.
CJ plays the Jets in December. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a very interesting game. I want to see how he plays against a real defense.
He was also on the sidelines for the Penn State Ohio State game this weekend.
I did see that. He did great on game day.
Did he? I was right next to game day.
He was very entertaining on game day.
That's awesome.
I thought they would be doing a little dance with him. They would get him to do the dance on the show because it's kind of popping off on social, but it's not really hitting mainstream media yet.
Yeah, I mean it's good to see an Ohio State quarterback looking good early. It's rare we haven't had success in the NFL, right? I mean, you had 3 first rounders in a row with Haskins, Fields, and Stroud. Would be really nice to see one of them win Rookie of the Year and actually take that next step and be an elite quarterback in the NFL. It's definitely something we need. So, all right, Jay, next one. Speaking of QBs, this guy, Tyson how's the last name?
Bagent.
Tyson Bagent. So I was doing some searching on eBay, and I was like, let me see higher sales. So I typed in a minimum price of $499, right? So anything it showed me for Tyson Bagent had to be $500 or more because that was my filter. He has 24 sales over $499. Got his first win on Sunday against Las Vegas. He is, again, I saw this tweet, and this is where I pulled this from. I probably want to give credit here, Jay. Who was Jay shared it with us. I want to give credit to who it was from. Was it
what, the Prism Draft Auto?
Yeah. There was I can try to find it, but I think it was Eric. That's what I thought it was from.
It was Eric Whiteback. It was the Prism Gold Shimmer to 15 did 850 on the 22nd.
Yeah, and I think the stat I was looking for was I think he said it's the highest selling Prism Draft Picks Gold Auto from the entire set, outselling Caleb Williams, anybody else in there. I believe it was saying he was the highest selling one at $850. And again, I put on here QB controversy. He has half as many wins as Justin Fields. The Bears have certainly not. It doesn't seem like, I don't think the Bears have been super supportive of Fields. I think Fields will end up getting moved. will we see Tyson end up playing more this year? I don't know. But I thought it was kind of crazy that we have 24 sales from this guy of $499 or more. So, Ty, Lou, any thoughts here on Mr. Tyson B?
Just makes me think of the kind of the gambling markets and how many people are putting $500 bets on, the Chicago Bears money line on a weekly basis type stuff. Like, this is just pure play gambling. Unless, where did this man go to school? He was D2, right?
Shepherd.
Unless you went to Shepherd and like
your first ever NFL player,
yeah, like then maybe. But otherwise, these are gambles. These people are, I imagine, looking to see if he gets named a starter and make a flip, or if he wins 2 in a row and make a flip, stuff like that. But I would, the NFL is a week-by-week league, and I would keep that in mind.
Yeah, Ryan, do you remember Ben DiNucci?
Oh, yeah, we talked about it a lot on this podcast.
Yeah. Ben DiNucci 2.0 right here.
That's a really good comparison. I like that comparison.
Thank you very much.
He was playing in the XFL or the AFL or the YFL or the ZFL?
Yeah, one of those. I was about to say he's going to play in like a Dubai football league. Did you see the Dubai baseball league?
No.
You guys didn't see that?
No.
Robinson Cano is like the co-owner of the Dubai baseball league, and there was a draft over the weekend. And if we could pull up some of the names, Jay might have saw them. It's some of the most outrageous names.
What do you know, Robinson Cano?
I mean, Robbie Cano is getting a bag from Dubai to play baseball.
That's amazing.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So Ben DiNucci 2.0, Tyson Bagent.
All right,
his dad's the world arm wrestling champion. That's kind of sweet.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah, Bartolo Colon.
Oh, that's amazing. Bagent's dad is the world wrestling champion?
No, the world arm wrestling champion. Or United States.
Dad?
Yeah. And his grandfather was the champion also. He comes from a family of arm wrestling savages.
That's unreal. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this one definitely has boom or bust potential here. Certainly a lot more risk, I would say. You're buying a gold Father's Day Tyson B out of 10 for 500 or best offer. That to me seems like a super, super risky play. But Ty, like you said, this is gambling. Somebody is buying this with the hopes that Tyson leads the Chicago Bears to a Super Bowl, or they're roommates with him at Shepherd, because I can't see any other reason the average day collector spending $500 in today's market being like, I want a Tyson B non-autoed Panini Father's Day, not real pack pulled rookie at a 10. This screams, I'm willing to gamble and hope he's the savior for the Bears, and we win the next 8 games and we go to the Super Bowl and this kid's rookie of the year. Like, this seems like a high risk, high reward type play. So wouldn't be me. I'm not buying him. I'm a seller for sure, but I thought it was worth noting. He's got some big, big sales.
You think it's a sell? Let's say you own one. Is it a sell today, or are you waiting for maybe?
I don't think I could sell something faster. Unless it's James Franklin's stock, I don't think there's something I would want less.
Who are the Bears play
That's
this
a
weekend?
crazy statement, but okay.
Yeah, you haven't thought about the coordinators coming in next year, right?
I mean, we won the Rose Bowl last year. Like,
oh, they play the Chargers
this
weekend. That's Tyson going to carve up that Chargers defense. Let's go, boys.
I agree.
Come on, Shepherd.
All right, next one.
I mean, it's an auto sell, obviously.
All right, Anthony Richardson. So this is one that is definitely, I think, the most interesting to me. Spent some time flipping through them. So I said sales aren't as strong as the other QBs in the 23 class, right? Tyson B is obviously selling well. Stroud is selling well. Bryce Young's not the most hot guy, but he's got some pretty strong sales. And I put on here, right, injury risk with right after it. Like, is there a short-term dip, but a long-term play here? Anthony Richardson is out for the year. He had that shoulder procedure. He's out for the year. His stuff. I thought it was like an AC joint.
Right? Yeah.
AC joint, I think, was
AC joint.
Yeah. So I put on here, do you guys think there's upside on him heading into the National? He showed promise in a few games. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, but again, in the same game, he goes out, right? And that's what I asked. I said, showed promise, but will injury risk outweigh that promise? So just a talking point. And
People
I
are
put
going
on
to get to a place. People are going to get to a place where they're really hyping up his comeback.
100%. It will happen.
Offensive coordinator will be focused on keeping him healthy, putting him into positions to succeed. He did show moxie. He did show action. People will forget. Drew Brees, struggled through his first couple years too with injuries, and he got traded. There will be action around this dude at National for sure.
Yep.
I'm a big Anthony Richardson guy. I think he's my favorite quarterback in this group of quarterbacks. So
I really don't see a world where he stays healthy as a professional quarterback and is successful, but that's just me.
They say that about a lot of guys. He just happened to get people landed on him. He got landed on and he popped the shoulder out. It happens.
Yeah.
But if you watch Jalen Hurts play, he doesn't get landed
because he knows how to fall.
That's what I'm saying.
They can teach this guy to fall.
And that's what the Colts have said is he will need to find ways to. He will need to learn to protect himself.
Tua does
Who did that to Tua, right?
Yeah, he does the. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a big Anthony Richardson guy.
Ty, I agree with you. I think my question here is fair. I think Richardson stuff will slowly, especially as the newer stuff comes out, the newer stuff will gain interest. The older stuff will dip. $153 for a black RPA out of 199 or out of 99. Again, that's half the price of a box. I don't see Richardson stuff maintaining. He's not going to be relevant as much. If you believe he's going to be the long-term player at the National, I think you've got a little while because I think he's still relevant enough now. But as more and more and more product comes out in the next 3 to 5 months, I think his market will dip as newer stuff continues to come out. But I don't think there's any doubt in my mind. You can call it whatever you want. This happens. This is cyclical at the National. We will be talking about this into the first week of July and saying who will be hot at the National. And one of the names to come up will be the 2023 quarterback, the number one guy in the product with autographs, Anthony Richardson. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it will happen. The market will convince themselves that Anthony Richardson is the guy. They're going to get line help. They've got playmakers. Jonathan Taylor's back. Whatever it may be, Anthony Richardson will have hype around him. I just don't think you're going to see it in the short term. So could lead to an opportunity, but we'll see. So, again, I only did 5, but I thought those were 5 of the bigger names here.
But 5 good ones.
As we move on, I have one question. I've been thinking about this. I put this on I did a little whatnot sale last night, and I put this in a poll on there, and I asked the audience as well. And I would love to know, what Jay and Bobby and Court think as well. But I'm focused mainly on Lou on this one. I thought about this all weekend, and I even put it in chat. So Lou, you probably have some time to stew on this. If you were starting an NFL franchise right now, who would your quarterback be?
Okay.
Justin Herbert or Josh Allen, 2 of the most notorious enemies of Lou Janu, who both lost this weekend, one to the Chiefs, one to the 1-5 terrible Patriots. Can't believe Josh Allen lost that game. But Lou, it makes me wonder, who would you take to start a franchise right now? Josh Allen or Justin Herbert?
So before I say that, can we talk about how the tide is starting to turn and people are starting to understand what I've been saying? Because Herbert just overthrows Keenan Allen 5 times a game. The guy's 6'4", and he overthrows him pretty much once a quarter, every single time. Josh Allen, notorious turnover machine. Yes or no? Right, you saw it this week. Did you watch the Patriots game this weekend or no?
No.
Okay. So he, as usual, just throws the ball over the yard like he always has. They're not very good. They are 4-2. Is that right?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Patriots, 4-3. They lost to the Jets, and they lost one other game on the road.
Yeah. Okay, so all that said, Justin Herbert's contract, I can get out of that in 2029. Josh Allen, I can get out of that in 2026. So I pick Josh Allen. Whichever one I can get out of sooner is the one that I want. So I choose Josh Allen.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But here's the downside to choosing Josh Allen. Terrible locker room guy, flops all over the place, makes people upset, turns his wide receivers against him little by little. So at that point, you got to wonder if maybe Herbert is the guy and he'd be open to a restructure where I can still get out of it in 2026.
If you're starting a franchise today, not named Joe Burrow, not named Patrick Mahomes, who would you start a franchise with?
Quarterback. You go first while I think about it.
Well, you know my answer.
Do I? You're still picking Trevor Lawrence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
That's hard. Can I pick Aaron Rodgers or no?
Yeah, if that's who you'd want to start a franchise with. Start a franchise with.
Oh, no. My choice is Jalen. I choose Jalen. Team guy, leader.
I think, yeah.
I would choose Jalen, or I would choose, if I can't choose Mahomes, I choose Jalen.
Yeah,
He keeps AJ Brown on check. AJ Brown, talk about a diva.
I think I'd take Jalen Hurts too.
Yeah, those are good. That's a good answer for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
We could do the tush push. No one can hate on us.
Yeah. I'm not that opposed to Kirk Cousins.
Another fun fact of the day, you know, how much Tua chatter I got in the first couple weeks. Did you know prior to this weekend, the teams the Dolphins had beaten had a combined 5 wins total, and after this weekend had a combined 8 wins total? Interesting when you play bad teams and you just throw the ball up to Tyreek Hill against those bad teams, what you can accomplish. And then when you play a good team, maybe it doesn't work out that way.
Can you think of a team who is beating their tough opponents in the AFC East?
The Jets?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The Patriots?
No.
I mean, they beat the Bills.
Don't let Zach Wilson dominate that conference for the next 10 years. Or division.
Dude, no, man. That'll be a cold day in hell. No way. All right.
3-3, brother.
Yeah, listen. You're in a better position than we are. We're terrible. At least you have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and Sauce Gardner. We got Mike Gesicki.
What a player, huh?
Half. I told you this. I'm like in on Garrett. Like, don't act like I wasn't on
What a player, huh?
So, yeah.
You know what starts tonight?
The NBA.
That's where we're going to. NBA basketball is back. Came out of nowhere, honestly. Like, I know we kind of mentioned it. I didn't realize it was already here. I guess that's what happens when you're, 7 days away from Halloween. But NBA is back. We've got to do the Rookie of the Year pick. We've got to do the Finals pick. Who's going to win? And then who's winning MVP this year? I think the only person to correctly pick an MVP on this show, by the way, is hand up yours truly, calling Jokic early. Yikes. Wow. Was on that train early.
2 years ago?
What?
That was 2 years ago?
Well, was it 2 years? It was first. No, might have been 3 because he didn't win it last year. He should have won 3 in a row. I think it was 3 years ago. It was going into his first one. So
did you see the bad check they did on him where he had to change up his whole thing about not liking basketball?
No.
So the whole bit with basketball. The Nuggets came out with some hype video for the season where he was just talking about how much he loved basketball.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
It was funny.
I love it. They're going to be beats again. They're laying 6 tonight to the Lakers on opening night. I don't know if there's injuries or not, but the Nuggets are laying 6 to the Lakers at home tonight.
All right, so let's get into it then. Who do you, first and foremost, who's going to win Rookie of the Year? The odds-on favorite right now is Victor. Second best odds is Chet, right? He still qualifies off that didn't play last year. And then third best odds is Scoot Henderson.
I think Wemby's going to run away with it.
Yeah.
I agree.
The NBA won't let him not win it unless he gets hurt.
I'll be honest. I watched a lot of his games. I don't see a world where this dude's not a top 20 basketball player in the league.
I think he might finish top 5 for MVP this year.
Mm-hmm.
I aligned.
I mean, you watch him play. He doesn't give you the he might get hurt vibes.
Yep. Doesn't run around like he doesn't know how to control his height. He's not just getting into his.
If Porzingis went to the ground, you were like, that might be it. Wemby is falling over, being fine. It's what is going on?
Dude, he hits some of those step backs. He comes to the line, hits a step back, just buries it. I mean, he looks like the best comparison is the NBA player, the my career player on 2K, where you make him have the real long arms and the real long legs, and they just run around. He just stands there and dunks. He blocks everything. I agree. Again, health is always the biggest concern, but this dude could be amazing. It's going to be an interesting year, but it would be hard pressed for me to say anybody other than Victor wins Rookie of the Year.
I agree.
You know who I think is kind of soft?
Who?
Chet.
You think he's soft?
Really? I think
What
Chet's
happened?
good. I like Chet.
I think he's just kind of soft. I just have this memory of the NCAA tournament where he was just getting worked over by Paolo,
Really?
and I haven't gotten that out of my head.
All right.
Right?
So
No.
speaking of Victor, though, before we move on to our picks, we got a card we're going to give away today. Ty, what are we going to do next? We'll announce it next Tuesday's episode or next Wednesday's episode.
Yep.
All right. So we got a rookie right here, little 9.5 Gemmy. Little gem mint Victor Wembanyama rookie. This is the first Panini Instant card they put out. Little 9.5. Pretty solid sales on these, but we're gonna give this away. All you've got to do is comment on the YouTube video with this Card Talk episode. Ty, what was it? You want a hot take for NBA this year?
Yeah. Hot take, storyline, some form of narrative, something that you see going down. Give a little teeth to it, give it a little juice. We'll choose the one that we collectively enjoy the most and ship that card out your way. If you're listening on audio, you do got to go to the 1:37 p.m. YouTube channel. That's ONE37 p.m. Go to the YouTube channel, find the episode there, and comment. This is a weekly thing going on now. Last couple of weeks, we've been giving some stuff out. We're going to announce the winner of these boxes later. So
We're gonna do it right now.
We're going to do the announcement of that right now. We got to do our NBA picks, and then we'll do that. But, yeah, weekly giveaways happening in the YouTube comments. Get some good chatter going. We're excited about it. So that was a Wembanyama. Was it the draft night?
Yep, Panini Instant 9.5.
Nice. So our favorite hot take that's left in the comments is will be the winner of that card.
Again, we'll announce it on next week's episode.
Yep.
All right. Who's going to win MVP? Who's going to play in the finals, and who's going to win the finals?
Cool. Lou?
I think I should go last because I don't know anything, so you guys should go
Okay.
first.
Cool. I got my MVP is actually going to be it's tricky. It's really not tricky, but it is tricky because I don't want to be, plain Jane. I'm gonna take
Can you take my pick right now? I'll be mad.
I'm not gonna take your pick.
Okay.
Because what has to happen is the teams have to be really good to win. And
Typically.
I'm going to take Giannis for MVP.
It's a good pick.
I'm going to take Giannis for MVP. I want to make a pick like Anthony Edwards.
Wow, wow.
I want to make a pick
That's insane.
like Luka, but neither of them are going to – the team's just not going to be dominant enough over a season that they will get over that line for that award.
100% agree. Aligned. Love it. Lou?
That's my MVP.
I just want to say it's a crime that Zion Williamson, LeBron James, and Jalen Brunson have the same odds for MVP. That just doesn't make any sense in my head.
I would agree. That's where we're at with LeBron.
That's where
we're at with the respect that LeBron gets.
There's something missing there. So I really want to take Anthony Edwards, but you just told me that they're not going to be good, so I guess I can't take him.
You can take him. I just wanted to. Ryan can't be the only one to ever pick an MVP correct on this show, so I gotta not go with my gut because my gut's wrong. Clearly, being a Penn State fan for my entire life.
I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum as my MVP.
Okay, I respect it. I just hate Boston. So
Gotta be kidding me. Gosh, maybe I shouldn't have went last. Golly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so the Celtics will, I'll tell you, I'll get into the finals. The Celtics will be my finals pick. I think Porzingis adds a real element to that team, and I think it will allow them to get over Milwaukee. You watch some of that preseason basketball. I think Porzingis coming there is different for them. So I really like Boston to come out of it this year. So yeah, I think Tatum will definitely be up there. But if Lou's taking Tatum, I'm gonna go a different way then. Maybe this is the year we finally get Luka. Maybe that he's one of the best basketball players in the league. There's no doubt about it. He is really, really good. Peers, seem again. I think we get this every year. We probably get suckered into this. Like, is Luka in the best shape of his life? Right? You see those reports coming out. So maybe I'll fall into that. What?
He does cardio one time, and everyone's like, "Is he in shape?"
Yeah. So I'm gonna fall into that trap, but give me Luka to win the MVP this year, and then again I'll do the finals pick. It's really hard to bet against the Nuggets. I think they're the most talented team. I think they're the deepest team. But I'm gonna take one from left field here. Give me the Lakers to get something done on one of LeBron's last real opportunities. It might have already passed, but I think you're going to see some improvement from AD. I like Austin Reeves in that support role. So give me the Lakers Celtics. I think that's going to be a fun classic matchup, but I'm not betting against the Celtics this year. I think the Celtics have some real potential. Multiple superstars there, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Porzingis coming to the mix. Lost a few guys. How will that impact it? We'll see. But I'm taking the Celtics over the Lakers to win the NBA Finals.
I'm gonna take the Suns. Shout out Devin Booker. Shout out Nate. Shout out KD. Shout out Bradley Beal getting the third option on defense against him on a nightly basis and exploding in people's face. And then I'm gonna have them against that team from Milwaukee. I think Damian Lillard and Giannis is still just different. I think obviously you'll see the Nuggets there towards the end. Just would love to see KD play a healthy, full season, happy, dialed in. I think that gets him over the line. I think you'll see the Suns versus the Bucks, and I really would like to see the Suns win a chip so that Devin Booker can come to New York.
Lou, how you feeling?
Is there any chance that Harden gets traded to Dallas?
Maybe. That would be fun. I'd
Who
like to
knows
see
with James
matter.
Harden, man? Who knows with that dude?
Yeah, he's a weird dude. I'm gonna go to keep it weird. I will go Celtics, Mavs, and I'll take the Celtics to win the finals.
Love it. All right, so a couple Celtics picks. We got Tatum and Luka and Ty. Who was your pick?
For what, MVP? Giannis.
Giannis. Yep. All right. There
Austin
it is.
Reeves for most improved. I think I'm going to go Austin Reeves for most improved. We're really stretching it with that, but
Who else is up for that award? Like Ja?
anyone that could get really good. Well, I mean, maybe off the court.
Anthony Edwards.
That's a good one.
It's the odds are Mikal Bridges, Tyrese Maxey, Jordan Poole, Cade Cunningham, Anthony Simmons, Austin Reeves, Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, Franz Wagner, Josh Giddey. They might just be saying Ant Edwards is not eligible.
Yeah, maybe he's too good already.
Yeah.
I think Edwards is gonna have a big year, so I like
I would
Lou's
agree.
shot at that. Maxey seems like a big one, especially if Harden gets moved.
Yeah.
That seems like a real obvious choice if they move Harden. Where's Bridges? Brooklyn?
Yep.
Yeah. They also got Cam Johnson there. Who knows what's gonna happen with Brooklyn?
Feels like there's a down like
Mediocrity, like always.
Yeah.
But it's
Mediocrity. Yes.
I think the thing I like about the NBA though is there's like really like 8 to 10 teams. You're like, yeah, they could win it. They're really good. Like Celtics are loaded, Nuggets are good, Bucks
But
are
is it
loaded.
really 8 to 10 or is it like 3 to 4?
I think it's 8 solid teams. Like Miami could win the whole thing.
Fair enough.
They could.
Suns, Lakers, like Warriors got Chris Paul coming. You know what? I don't know.
I like the Warriors. Who'd you just say? Can win?
Warriors. I mean, come on, dude. They went to the finals.
That was a lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, Jimmy Buckets is a dog, man. Doesn't get a lot of credit.
I know he's a dog, but he ain't a chip winner.
Fair. All right. Ty says we got to wrap it up here soon. Ty's got to go. NBA Jay. All right, let's finish with Q&A then. Jay says we got some Q&A here, so we'll finish with that. Again, guys, we'll be looking for some plays for next week, so feel free to DM Card Talk Pod on IG to get some plays in. Again, if you want to be featured on Play of the Week. So let's get into Q&A and wrap this up here for this week's episode. I know it's a longer one.
All right. Well, Andy T 1618
Oh, we put him in chat. I was waiting for him to pop up on the screen. I'm like,
got who do you collect and why? And I'll just keep pointing back to this is a card that I collect. And the reasoning as to why is I've always liked purple parallel. It's just something that's always spoke to me from a color. And then Booker is someone that I love their game. It was funny. Nate actually looked up our text messages. Nate, who's a good friend of mine, who's a diehard Suns fan from Phoenix, looked up our texts from the night that Booker got drafted. And we had a funny exchange. I was like, I think he could be really nice. And Nate was like, yeah, they say he's got a lot of upside. He was pumped. They took him. He was the best player left available rather than kind of a fit for the team. So I collect random things. This is equally 50% because it's purple prism, Booker color match to the jersey. Yeah. And then as well, a lot of footy stuff. Lorcana's I've been enjoying collecting because I love Disney and Disney movies, the throwbacks. But yeah, how about y'all?
yeah, I mean, the main guy I collect is old Donnie Nicky, same high school. So, yeah, that's the main guy. Then it's just mostly rare, unique Ohio State stuff. So, same song and dance for a few decades.
I'm really starting to be convinced that I'm cursed as a human. So, I collect all my favorite players, and then they lose or get hurt or get traded. So, you know.
What can you do? Garrett Wilson, Yordan Alvarez.
I'm scared to buy a Garrett card, like legitimately.
This is a good one. SAC Collectibles in Texas, or SA Collectibles in Texas. What's going to happen to all the excessive PSA 9s and 8s from the COVID era? Too many graded cards.
Recycled plastic, maybe?
Do you think there's too many graded cards?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, pretty obvious answer from Lou.
Yeah. There's 4,000 grading companies. There's 4 zillion different ways to get a card graded. There's 27,000 different grades available to people. It's too much plastic.
We should do that next time. Jay, Bobby, if you guys can help with this, I would love to understand pop reports now and where they were. Because we've talked about these on shows, like when the Luka almost hit 20K, what's it at now? Right? Like, how crazy are some of those pops? Have they grown a lot? Like, I think it would be worth looking into for future episodes.
I mean, in September of 2023, PSA graded 1.2 million cards.
Holy cow.
Like, what are we talking about?
Over a 10-year period, that's on pace for what, 120 million cards?
In August, they graded 1.2 million. In July, they graded a million. In the first half of 2023, they graded 6.4 million cards. What are we talking about?
All right. Real quick. Ty, you just picked up the Xander asked a good question. You just picked up the Devin Booker. So outside of that, what's one card you're looking to pick up here? It says one Grail piece. I think we know a lot of those. We've answered that that question a lot. Is there anything you're looking to pick up here in the short term? Any card you like actually can make a play on that you want to make a play on?
I'm kind of getting back in my footy bag, obviously coming off this past weekend. So I'm moving over to the pitch. 2026 World Cup still coming. I've been thinking about Gio Reyna, and I've been thinking about Jude Bellingham. So I think in general, what I would say is it's not a very specific thing, but a really nice U.S. men's soccer piece. Maybe that's a Pulisic, maybe that's a Gio Reyna, maybe that's a Balogun. But I would say it's a U.S. men's national team card.
Ty, I gotta show you this. I was on eBay the other day and I was bidding on some cards. I've actually been buying a lot of stuff on eBay and on auction lately. And there was a Pulisic 1/1 auto from Mosaic. I'm going to talk about this in a mail day video, so we'll talk about it now.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. There's a Pulisic 1/1 Mosaic auto USA kit, and it was on bids. It was a sticker auto, and it's a 1/1, and it was like $800. I bid like $655, and it went for like $8. It was going at $8. I'm like, I'm gonna back out of this. Let me see what else I can find. So I went on eBay, and I was like, let me search Pulisic Eminence because I had the same thought. I'm like, I want to get a really cool card. I have a couple Pulisic. Let me add one to the PC. Got a little, how about a 1 of 5 game used on card patch auto of Christian Pulisic, which went for $65 less than a 1-of-1 mosaic sticker auto went for. So this should be in a tub in a mail day. I'm about to add 1 of 5 on card patch auto from first year Eminence for, the
Put that back up. Put that back up.
Hershey Holland himself.
That's fresh.
That is gas.
Yeah. 3-color patch.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have the one. I actually have out of 10. It might actually be 1 of 10 of the same card. So I thought that was cool. That was actually a card I was looking at. I watched the Beckham documentary and I'm like, I think World Cup could be fun in 2026. We're 3 years away, but let me add something fun. So that was on my list as well.
Yeah. What was your grail?
What?
Grail pickup.
No, just one thing you'd be looking to add by the end of the year.
I would love to add a real Jose before the end of the year. Jose Altuve, my hero. He's the only guy who's ever come through for me. I've never had an athlete who really is reliable, like on one of my teams, and he's the first guy who really always comes through every single time. He had a home run last night at the bottom of the ninth for no reason, or at the bottom of the eighth. I can't remember which one it was. He's, that's my guy.
Respect.
Yeah, that home run. I mean, I thought it was a whole different series when he hit that home run. So, all right, shout out to everybody for the questions. We're gonna wrap it up here. It is it's actually a really solid release week. The next couple weeks are going to be interesting. You have Flux basketball. You have WNBA Origins basketball first time release. You have Prism Collegiate basketball draft picks. You've got tier 1 baseball. You have Leaf Pop Century Decadence, which is Leaf Pop Century, but like the premium version. Leaf's first time doing that. You've got Inception Overtime Elite Basketball, Star Wars Chrome Black. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Big release week.
And then we have our 2 giveaway winner. 1 winner, 2 giveaways. Last week, the question was, what is an all-time duo starter backup? And I think I kind of made the decision. There was a ton of good ones, a lot of good chatter. I think there was over 50 comments. We're going to keep doing this every week. But one was pretty simple and straightforward. It comes from Rage 508 Cards and Grails. And I just chuckled and laughed at the way it was put, very straightforward, because I think it's really hard. I mean, these are 2 Mount Rushmore goats of sport. And the best running back duo, Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson, point blank period, argue with a wall, brick emoji, LOL, laughing face, target emoji, 100.
Saying emojis out loud makes me laugh every time.
It was just like you really
argue with a wall
on that one. So respect. Rage 508 Cards and Grails. The team will reach out for your address, and we'll get those shipped out to you. All the best, and have a great week, everyone. We are Penn State.
Don't forget, guys, Wemby giveaway this week. We'll announce that next week on the episode. Go
NBA
Bucks.
hot takes. Get them in there. Peace.